All right, welcome everyone. This is a Viper Professional Training and Support webinar. Today's date is May the 1st, 2017. This is a Monday night webinar, and the title of tonight's webinar is Trading Predictors and the Open Regions. And as everyone knows that's been to our webinars or our live trading room, everything that we say and do at Viper Trading Systems is for educational purposes only. Futures trading, forex trading, any kind of financial instruments trading involves risk. Therefore, there's always risk of loss. You should only trade discretionary capital, and that is money that you can afford to lose. Nothing said in this webinar, other webinars we might have, our live trading room or anything else with Viper Trading Systems should never be construed as trading or investment advice. And as always, everyone does trade at their own sole discretion. Any questions on the disclaimer? All right. I'm going to go over a little bit of the basics right off because we've got some people that had just joined like over the weekend. Last week and stuff, and so I'll go over a few of the basics and show some people how to get some webinars and things like that. All right, everybody doing okay in their trading, by the way? I know I see a lot of these names in the webinars quite often, so are y'all doing okay in your trading? Everyone seem to be? Mostly? Okay. Okay. And I won't mention any names, by the way. You know, if anybody wants to say anything on that, that's not a problem. I will not mention names. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and show a chart. I want to show you kind of what I look at all the time, especially new members and anyone else that's having any problems at all too. Okay, except for the inevitable trend change about 30 to 45 minutes in. The beauty of that trend change is lightning 3 and watching even lightning 2. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and go over some of these things real quick. Bear with me a second. Now I purposely just went ahead and picked gold and threw it on to where basically just downloaded some data. We're at about 6 o'clock in the evening yesterday, and of course this isn't including the May 1st stuff just yet. So all I did is just started it, you know, at almost like I like to always do, you know, just download some data and stuff, and then we'll try to take some trades and see how we do. Okay. Now, one thing I want to go over real quick, and I think this is ultra important, by the way, and I don't think I can stress it enough. You have 4 trends on your chart. Okay, and you really have even a 5th one, which is what I call the larger term, you know, what's really happening with the market. And you've got to always be conscious of that. These lightnings right here, lightning 1, lightning 2, are pretty fast. Lightning 3, not quite so fast. You can see lightning 3 right here on this chart. Now, with what I'm showing on this chart right here, wouldn't you say that we have a certain trend direction? Getting in late? Well, you know, the one thing about getting in late, and keep in mind that the more aggressive you are, the more you're going to have to take, you know, a small hit occasionally, where if you're a little bit more conservative, you just got to put a deeper stop. And being conservative is not a bad way to trade, obviously, because you can get, you know, still some good trades. But keep in mind, you know, like in sideways chop, to give an example, if you're more of a conservative trader, you're not going to get much. Yeah, it's absolutely an uptrend, isn't it? I mean, you know, that was almost like a no-brainer question. Because if you look, let's just start back here. We'll just start at like 8:30 in the morning, whatever time this was, I don't know. You know, basically, you had a low here, a high here. And when was this low right here established? People that have been with us before. I'm going to put a line on the chart, and you tell me when this swing is actually established right here. When do you know this is actually a swing on this chart? Okay, I'm going to put the line down, and you tell me where you feel that this is actually, yeah, exactly. Several people are already typing it in. When it takes out 68.40 or 68.50. Okay, now not only was this swing established when this took this out, this swing was established. Everybody see that? And your lightning 3, as a rule, when you establish a swing, is going to hold on these pullbacks. Okay, and when it quits holding on these pullbacks, it's going to definitely change directions. Okay, now somebody had mentioned that, seeing the trend change, because if you think about it, overall, the trend is a certain direction at all times, anyway. You're either heading up or you're heading down on the longer term. Okay, but what I want everybody to see most important is how to see these swings in real time. Why do we draw these lines on the chart? For instance, if you were just seeing this right here, wouldn't that be your swing low? And as long as that low is not taken out, you're still heading up. See how that one came almost to it, but not quite? A little higher low again. All right. Now notice on here, let's go with lightning 2 now. This is lightning 3, but it's the same principle every single time. Because let's look at lightning 2. And so it'll make it easier to see, I'm going to take off lightning 3. Okay. Now this is lightning 2 right here. You've got a high. When is this swing established right here? Or this one? Anybody? Right, the same spot, right? Because you have to take out, for this ever to be established as a low, when you start getting that, you don't know that's a low, because at the time, this could easily just come up, try to hit it, and then roll over and even take this out, right? So what you're always looking for is confirmation. See, that didn't give it there either. Now you got a double bottom. Is that your new low yet? It's not, is it? The low is still, like we showed back over here. I'll go ahead and put lightning 3 back on just so you can see it. Okay, now this low is established right here. We know that, right? Because it took out these highs back here. Okay, so you have a new low established right here. This is a higher low right here. Now when is this low going to be established versus this low? And it's when it takes this 68.60 out. See how that just tagged it? That's sideways right now, right? But when it takes it out, even like so, you start getting higher lows again, right? Now, real quick again, when is this low established here? Isn't it when that was taken out right there? Isn't that low established? Now, usually what I like to look at, if they're really this close like this, I usually go ahead and pull my stop down on this one instead. Because this one, even though it's established with this high taken out, that doesn't convince me as much, and you can sometimes get wicked out. Okay, now when this takes it out again, you can pretty much tell that's established, right? Now which low is established on this chart at this very given moment? And keep in mind, this is just brushing up, kind of keep people up to date with what's going on. Okay, but can you see clearly that you got a swing? You had a thrust, you had a pullback. Well, when was this swing established right here? We know this one is established this very moment right here, but we don't know this one is established until it takes out this swing. In other words, you're stair-stepping up. When is this low established? When it takes out this swing. At this time, that's your low, right there where that swing is. Till it takes this swing out here, this is not our low yet. We don't know that's our low. Okay? But we do know this is our low. That's why you see us drawing on those charts in that room all the time. Now, where's our swing established? And the answer is right here, right? At this little swing right here. And then usually, like I say, if I see one that's like a double bottom, I usually go ahead and bring my stop just under there, like that. Okay? Now you know for a fact that right this moment that this is your new low and you are still stair-stepping up. Okay? Anybody miss that at all? Because I want to make it absolutely clear. Now what about lightning 3? Brian, that's a very, very good question. Well, lightning 3 has not had enough price movement to establish another swing yet. Let's take lightning 2 off so I can show you. Let's just take it off. Why is this not establishing, even though the prices are way up here? We know they are because we just saw them. Why is this one not showing there yet? It's because lightning 3 is actually a 4-range bar, but a 15 strength. And this has probably been going a little sideways, so it's not making another top yet. So where's your top over here? This is not your low, is it? This is your low on Lightning 3. Everybody sees that? High, low, higher high. That's a higher low, but it hadn't taken out that high yet. Now we know it has. We know that it has with Lightning 2. See there? But we don't know it with Lightning 3. Okay? So if we do get some kind of a top up here and it prints a number, then this will actually go down to a yellow one and then all the way back up to this next one. And we'll be able to see it in real time. Okay? Now, for the sake of with no trends on the chart or anything, where could I possibly, if I wanted to, look for a short if it breaks? Anybody? Mindy, as a rule, when I say it's broken micro, it'll usually go down and check a medium swing. As a rule, your medium is going to be your predictors or your mid-band. There you go. Somebody got that already. You want me to put the line up? Anybody have a guess of where we don't have any trend on this chart whatsoever, but where is Lightning if this was to decide to start stair-stepping down? Now remember this little deal here? This is only the upside of it, right? Well, where would the downside be on this chart? We know this is our low, this is our high because it took out the high, right? So this is our low right here, right where my cursor's at. So if you were to short this or look for a short, wouldn't you be looking to break that and start stair-stepping back down? Now we don't know if it's going to stair-step like this. Little thrust, little retrace, not get a higher high, right? So like a thrust, retrace, and then break a swing. That could even be a short, but that's what we call the micro side. Let me show you what I'm talking about over here. Okay, this is where our prices are right this very moment. Okay, now several of you have said if right now you've got a high here, a low here, and a high here. So we know that's our swing, right? So isn't that where more than likely if this does decide to break down, now I'm not saying it'll break, for instance, and give you, 50 ticks or something like that, but if this was to actually start stair-stepping down, let's just say that it did, and I don't want a ray, let's not do a ray, we'll do a bar. Not a bar, but a line. And I'll change the color of it again because I want to show you something that's not really on the chart, but I want to show you how to see it when it happens in real time. We'll go ahead and set that as our default. Well, that's a little thicker and it's about a 4. Let's go ahead and do that. That must be a 5. Let's try that. All right, now I drew this one, so this is not real price, right? But what if this went like this? Now, do we have to wait to short here now? No. This is our new low, isn't it? This is our new low right here. So see, it stair steps up, or it'll give you the particular low that you're looking for in real time. Okay, now keep in mind, the one thing that stops a lot of us, and I know this stops me too, because you're thinking, well, this is going to be like a phantom. And it turns out not to be a phantom, it just blows through, and you got to wait for a retrace. If you're a gutsy trader, and you see this type of action happening, and let's say, for instance, that this did this, and then it did this. I got a ray again, sorry about that. And then it did this, and didn't take out that top, and then it did this. That's what we call micro break. Okay, this is more of a secondary break. This one, if you're going to head up, you expect a higher low than this. So would you take this short? And I would say probably no. Now, if you're more of a micro trader, you could, but keep in mind you'd have to put your stop above the swing. Okay, let's say that it did this and then broke again. I got that ray again. How am I getting that? Bear with me a second. I'm trying to click it over here. All right, now that's pretty much doing like a little A, B, C, D, E down, right? But this swing is still intact. So if you were to short this here, you'd obviously only have to here to go. And if you were expecting a higher low, this could easily just come down maybe a couple of more ticks or so and then shoot up and keep going. So that's what you got to be careful of. Looking to the left to trade the right, you've got to see the swing on the left side, not only on the right side. Okay? You know what I mean by that, right? This is the left side, looking left to trade right. This is more the right side where it's trying to decide, is it going to take out the left side? It's 12:71 p.m. too. Yes. Yes, it is. Okay. Now this is fake stuff right here. We know the price is actually right up here, don't we, in here? So let's get rid of everything on the chart except for the lightning. See, because that's our real lightning right there. This is real prices. Okay. So at this moment, we don't have anything to shoot for just yet, except let's see if lightning 1 does anything. Nope, lightning 1's still down here with this. Let's see, so where would you consider a trend change on this chart all the way down to identified lightning 3? Brian, on your question, not really, okay? Because, you know, to give an example, this is what I would consider a swing. This is what I would consider a secondary swing. And this is what is your actual lightning 3. No, you don't have to wait for lightning 3. Now, when they start going sideways, when they run out of steam, you'll see lightning 3 even just barely take out these highs. Let's say, for instance, this had done this. Let's go back here. Let's say this had done this instead. Just pretend this one isn't here. And it had done something like this. Got the ray again. I swear, it seems like it's getting the other one when I'm clicking, but I must be clicking just a little low. All right. So let's say that it did something like this instead of this, okay? And let's just make it more like about that angle, because that's probably about what they do. Just pretend this isn't here. Okay, now would this be our new lightning 3? And the answer would be yes, because the number's there. Okay? Now, let's go ahead and go with the real stuff, and let's see if we can actually make a trade based on what was just taught. Okay, so what I like to do personally on my charts, and you know, Charles and I are doing just really basically the same thing. I know he likes to use boxes more, like around mid-band. You know, I'm kind of a predictor guy. I like the boxes around mid-bands too. I like the phantom trade. You'll notice that the Russell hit exactly where I said it would this morning. We got a nice 20-some odd tick trade out of it. Gold did a phantom, but did not give us anything more than a scalp, depending on where you got in. But I'm going to show you where you can get back in that trade, because actually, you know, the room was actually closed after that, but you could actually see where you can get in that trade. And I'll show you how to do that. So tonight, I wanted to go over, because I've had a lot of questions on this. We'll get into trading predictors in the open regions as soon as we, without any other help, see how we can get in this next trade. Okay? Now, let's go ahead and you all tell me where, if you were going to go short instead of long, where you would put your line or your box. Now keep in mind, this is lightning only, so we don't see the prices. We're actually seeing the lightning as it's forming, but we're not seeing the price bars. Okay? Let's see, F2 is shortcut for a lot. I know. I forget that a lot of times. You know, if you go to your drawing tools over here, you'll see that your line is F2 right here. I just usually, old school, just click the little deal, but evidently when I'm coming up there, I'm clicking in this square right here instead of actually higher. So yeah, definitely know where that's at. I just don't use it for some reason. I accuse Charles sometimes of, you know, being an old dog, you can't teach new tricks. I think that comes with age, you know, because I'm 63 and Charles is like 52, I think he is, something like that. And he's pretty set in his ways, and I'm definitely set in mine. Now, I'm a little bit more formable as far as indicators and stuff go, because over the years, you know, developing Lightning, developing the predictor trade, and really enhancing Object Trader, you know, it's really opened me up to see a lot more than I even used to see like 5 years ago. A lot more. You know, where you used to be able to go for like, you know, $300 or $400 in a day, you can go for 3,000 or 4,000. You know, and do that literally on a consistent basis a lot of times. Okay, but real quick, without any prices on here, tell me where this is going to change trends. Anybody? Won't single you out if you miss it. Where would this particular chart change trends if it takes out? Now keep in mind, we may not be talking about the overall trend, but we're talking right here about Lightning 2 trend. There you go. They're coming in. Let's see. Let's see here. Okay, I'm getting 1269.50. I'm getting 1270.20. I'm getting 1268.60. I'm getting 1270.70 area. Now that's the best answer actually is area, because for instance, let me draw the line of where we know the swing is because it's identified, right? Is right there. And that's actually, I missed it by a tick. That's 70.20, isn't it? Okay, so that's the answer that's actually, you know, for sure correct, because that's where your swing's at. Okay, if you go down further, like say right under here or here, you're talking about like say something like 69, that's late. You know, I would probably have to wait for it to thrust down and retrace back into that area before I would ever take that trade. Now, could we take this trade though, if this was to break this swing based on what I just taught? And the answer is yes. Not even caring if the background is green or mid-band or whatever, because you go from stair-stepping up, right? Stair-stepping up to stair-stepping down when you take out that swing right there, and when you take out this swing on Lightning 2, and on this one, it'll be all the way down here. Everybody sees that, right? What's the shortcut to make your chart screen show just the Lightning? Lee, on your question, we've got an actual template that I'll be happy to get you. It's on our website too, under the basically, you know, where you go to your member page. I'll show you where that's at, but I can actually get you that template. It's not a problem. Anybody else missing it at all? Yeah, the name of it's webinar. Just webinar template. Okay, does everybody see on this chart here, and I know I'm going over this a little bit longer than I'd planned to, but do you see that your swing is here on this one, it's here on this one, and it's here on this one? Now, which you decide to trade is up to you. Okay, and if you make a mistake, don't let them start back stair-stepping up if you're going to short it. Okay, so in other words, if on this Lightning 1 chart, I decided to short right here, that's a little riskier because, you know, my low's here, my low's here. We don't know if this is going to come down. You see what I mean? Just because it breaks this one. Now this one here, you're a little bit more sure, but if it broke here, you might just end up here or a little higher than here and still head up, right? Okay. Now let's look and see, just based on what we just said, if we can actually take this trade. Okay. Now I don't know if it's going to work. I hope it does actually, but let's just try it. We're going to put a strategy on the chart called Object Trader, and we'll do like 3, and I'm going to do a region on here, and keep in mind I've got a little bit different region than y'all have. and I'm not going to even care about going long unless it actually takes out like this top here, to give an example, like 1272. But that's chasing a trade, isn't it? I mean, this thing's gone up from here, thrust, retrace, thrust, retrace, thrust, retrace, thrust. So is that a smart trade right there? We don't know where midband is. I'm trying to teach you just how to see swings. We don't know. Midband seems to me to be around right in through here, more than likely. But we don't know for sure. This would be a breakout trade. Everybody sees that, right? Okay, so let's just, for the fun of it, see if they do any kind of retrace and if we can actually take that trade very possibly to the downside. You want to just start it up and see? Now, if it breaks this, so you did break this to 72, looks like 40 or 50. That's where our line was. So that's evidently where price was. Okay, everybody sees that, right? Now, could you actually think about shorting this right here at 70.90? Could you do that? Well, that's a lightning swing, isn't it? So let's try it. So your swing, high, low, higher, high. We don't know where the prices are because I'm purposely hiding them. I don't even know where they are. I just know that lightning formed. Look at that. We just got it. Now, I don't know why that's flat right now. Probably my market replay. Let's go ahead and short it again. We know that it's there. Let's just go ahead and get these out of the way. Oh, I see what it is too. We're actually way up here is where this shorted, probably because this region was just put on the chart and our prices unfortunately are up in this area here. Okay, so I'm not sure exactly what that did there, but let's just see if it works out just for the fun of it. I'm going to fast forward it. Feeling a little bit of heat. There's your lightning 3 just formed. There you go. Without even looking at prices on the chart, where did the trend change? The trend changed right below that lightning, didn't it? Did you know that did that again while we were in the room earlier today? That same exact trade on gold. Do you know when we box in at the open, you know, everybody gets concerned about this and that, you know, colors and things like that. And yet at the open, we just box them in, don't we? Because we're actually looking for breaks of those little micro swings and things, right? Now let's look at the actual chart. Bear with me a second. We're going to get the actual chart and see where we're at. Okay. Now let's see. Does anybody see an area that more than likely we can get in this thing again? Let's look to the left to trade the right. Let's see if we can figure it out. You got to swing right across there. Got to change this real quick because we're probably going to lose this trade. Right there at that line, that's resistance, and here's resistance. So I got two places that I've got resistance at, and I'd be looking for a little rollover like that. You want to put Object Trader on, see if we can get it? Let's watch it and see where it goes. I'm going to grab it if it tags that resistance. Now, so far you've got a little what we call a phantom trade. Could you have taken that trade? And the answer is yes. That's an 85% probability trade. That's the one that I took on gold this morning that barely got a scalp if you didn't wait for the bar to close. If you waited for the bar to close, it did not get 5 ticks. See if we can get this little trade. We'll see if we can get it. Now, why would we be looking? Several people were asking, you know, for instance, how can you tell when the trend is changing? Well, on a lightning 3, your trend hasn't changed. See your high, your low, your higher high. But on your Lightning 2, it took that swing out there where we had our line drawn, didn't it? So is this a trend change on Lightning 2? And the answer is yes. On Lightning 3, not so much. Okay? But you remember in the room, what we're looking for in a case like this, to give an example, is we're looking for a retracement into a particular, into a resistance area by looking to the left to trade the right. Okay? Now I'm probably going to go ahead and just take that. See, that is right at resistance. And then I would probably put my stop just above where it kind of broke down right there, just in case. And there, so we just got a little trade right where resistance was. Okay? Another thing too, yeah, several of you brought this up also. That's very, very good too. Notice your stealth. When stealth actually starts turning red like this, and you don't just get this little bitty piece and then it jumps back up, but you get this longer piece, that's usually a trend change. Taking shallow retracements. Well, Brian, the one thing about those shallow retracements, if you want to, wait for stealth. You know, for instance, what you could do, let's just take this trade off the table. All right, what you could do would be to wait for stealth to come to your price, but we may get a breakout. We don't know. We are rolling over. You could draw like a little trend line like right here. It is breaking that trend line. That's pretty small price retracement. But see, when they break support areas, they usually go and they kiss them. Now, if they're going to go up any higher, they're going to actually go more than likely to, right there would be your Lightning 1. I'll draw Lightning 1 and you'll see it. See right there where I drew that line? That's Lightning 1. Okay, so, you know, if they do pull back, this is a really shallow retracement. Looking to the left to trade the right. That's where we're seeing our resistance. But let's say that you didn't even take this trade just yet. Okay? Let's see if we can get a stealth trade. We'll remove that, and hopefully I won't speed this up so much we don't get it. I'm going to go about 20 times. See if we can get it. Let's see, Gary, could you comment on price when there are a series of tight range bars, as they seem to always precede a breakdown? Absolutely they do, don't they? Now notice right here, see how stealth is right down here again? See where stealth is coming right down here? Now, you can actually look for this type of trade. What if this just breaks down? Here we go. We're going to stealth. See stealth right there? See how it hit stealth? I just hit market, so we didn't get the full move. It looks like this is going to break. Could you actually short it like on a break? Yeah. Put your stop just above the swing. See that? Now that is chasing a trade, but where's Lightning? Where's Lightning on this chart? It's right there. Okay. Wow, look at that thing drop. Mercy. Now let's look for a retrace trade. What do y'all think? You want to try a retrace trade? Tonight's about predictors. Look at that drop, by the way, and it even took out previous. See that? It took out the previous. So this is definitely a downtrend now, isn't it? So what are we looking for as traders? You know, for instance, predictor, you got resistance looking to the left to trade the right. I'm going to short it. See it right there? Look to the left. And let's see if we can get a little scalp here. We've got 3 contracts, so we're going 5, 6, and 8. That's a predictor trade, by the way, that we are absolutely going to automate. It's being done as we speak. And there's another way to do this too. Okay. For instance, if you're like an aggressive trader, see how we've got the green power meter right now? Okay. That's because this kind of thrust up and it hasn't really taken out the swing just yet. It should actually get red. See it? Okay. Now, what if you're an aggressive trader and what if this doesn't take out this low? We don't know if it's going to yet. You know, anytime they thrust down and retrace, you could get double, triple bottoms. I'll show you something else I like to do personally, and you got to be careful with this one because this is an aggressive trade. See, power meter's red. If it takes out lightning to the upside, right now it would be right there at 63.80. If it doesn't take this out, it's going to go higher than this. You can count on it because usually, unless they thrust down, they're more than likely going to hold this swing if they bounce at all. And you'll see that time and time again, especially when they do a lot of consolidation like that. And there's also a predictor down there. Let's see what we get. Now we're already out of our short, so what do we got to do if we're going to short it again? Well, we got to wait for a retrace. Now this little trade that I'm talking about right here, this is a little gutsier trade than boxing in at mid-band. If this actually does break above that lightning swing, you would be starting to head back up on lightning 1. Okay? See, it just went green. So technically, when that bar closes, we should probably fire a trade. Let's see if it does. Power meter turned green, but the bar hadn't closed. Yeah, you could do a PM long down there, absolutely. See if we're going to fire it all. It's going to be a little later than I want it, but you got to trust there. Well, we didn't get our PM. What did it do? Let's see. Power meter also, not sure exactly. But if this comes back down to this line, I'll go ahead and grab it anyway. Let's see if we can get it. I'm going to grab it anyway. It's above the line. See if we can get 6 ticks. Now, where would I put my stop? Just in case on this one right here, I would probably put my stop just under that swing. See that little swing right there? That way I've only got like, I've still got an 8-tick stop, but that's a swing right there. So if they do pull back, they should bounce off of it. Unless they just go ahead and crater and head down. Okay? Now, where are we looking? Let's see. Look to the left, trade to right. I see another trade. Right up here around mid-band, don't you? Now, if you don't want to take this particular trade, don't take it until you get comfortable with it. But you'll see time and time again where they'll give you these higher lows like that. And if you take out your little lightning, to give an example, you can get in those trades. I got in late. It's a predictor as well. Yeah, as a matter of fact, it is. Let's go ahead and close this out. I'm going to restart Object Trader just real quick because I've evidently got it in some kind of loop, and he has definitely worked on that on this next version. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that. Click OK. And we're going to see if we can get another trade. If you're an aggressive trader, you would absolutely just click the button when it hits the line, or if it goes through it and comes back down through it. Because we're still looking shorts, right? We already got our little long. Let's see if we get another trade. If you're a conservative trader, here's what you can do also. You can turn on like PM. And what you'd be wanting to do with PM would be a short, because our background's red and everything. We took a low only because it was all the way down at the bottom. And you're going to short only when you get up into these areas like phantoms and stuff. You see what I'm getting at on that? In other words, where you've had a thrust and they're going to retrace, or a thrust and you know they're going to retrace. All right. Now, I would probably, as a little bit more aggressive trader, I would probably do, if they touch that line at all, I would do 1. And I'd be ready just to take it. See, like that? Okay. And the reason that I would do that is because that's actually a nice little support looking to, or resistance looking to the left to trade the right. Looking to the left to trade the right, though, you've got another swing right here. Okay, so draw your line again, and they may go a little higher. And then you could draw it one more time, and that would be right here. Looking to the left to trade the right. Now, I don't expect it to actually go this high, because as a rule, if they go this high, then more than likely they're going to take out this little predictor, but that is your 3 lines. Okay, I'm feeling a little bit of heat on the aggressive trade. Now, what about the people that like the trendline break, to give an example? Well, right now you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bars that are straight up. You could kind of draw a trend line. 4 range bars, I'd be careful drawing it straight under them. So is that how you personally take those at the line trades? Yeah, Brian, on your question, because see, the thing is, you got this monster move to begin with, so you're up quite a bit. So right now you're only short 1, and we're feeling about $10 in heat so far. Now we don't know. Looking to the left to trade the right, we've got a swing, pretty good swing right there. We got a swing there, and we got a swing there. If we look at our fib, %38 all the way up here, that would be like a phantom, but that's really taking out our predictor, so I don't really think they're going to go that high. So we'll leave this off. You know, until they take out these predictors with a vengeance, they're not changing trends. Just like this one here, see, that took that predictor out and just kept on trucking. Okay, so we're feeling like 30 bucks. Now what I normally do if I do this particular trade is I go ahead and get the target out of the way, and then I use PM to get in a couple of more, you know, something like this, because right now it looks like I'm feeling a little bit of heat. I'm going to turn on exit on close because that's my swing. And let's see if we can get another trade. Hopefully this PM is working. If that goes red, it should fire. You remember that trade that I called this morning in the room, right when it went up to Phantom and we got that at the open? We didn't have to wait on the opening box. Feeling a little bit of heat on that one. Got a $100 bill, 10 ticks. Now see, your safest trade is where the knife quits or the missile quits going up. There's your little box that we always talk about. But keep in mind with one contract, if you're up like $1,800, to give an example, that's not what I call that much of a risk. Okay? Because, well, if we do get our PM to the downside, or we're going to get taken out. Because looking to the left to trade the right, if they do decide to totally retrace, they'd go all the way up here. See where that thrusts way down? So I'll draw a line there. But that would take a trend change for sure. That's going to take out Phantom. I don't think it'll do it. They're just trying to take out. What's the rule of thumb again, everyone? You got a low here. You got a high here. Is this really your high? Is this really your low? Well, this is really your low because they took this out, right? But on this side of it, let me get rid of the trend line. I'll show you something. Okay, we got lightning. See how lightning is still stepping up? Still stepping up? You haven't gotten a power meter to the downside yet. Now, if you don't want that kind of heat, the best way to do is don't do it. You know, like I just did then, because resistance doesn't always hold. But if you do that, you don't want to do it with like 6 or 8 contracts either. You know, you've got to pretty much confirm that you're starting to head your direction. It looks like it might. If it breaks this midband, we should change to red. Now this green stealth's making me a little bit more nervous, and that went up higher than I wanted it to. But we'll see. We'll see if it'll roll. Now keep in mind what we talk about in the room is this box. Everybody sees this, right? This is your little box right there. Just right underneath that low, just like I said. When it's that close, second one back. And if that breaks that box, it's going to be a safer trade than the one I took, right? But it came right to midband and it rolled. It faked us. You're going to run into that. Now I'm only feeling 5 ticks of heat, so I'm better. GC is such a wide range market, I'd be afraid to jump in too soon. Well, the one thing I like about gold with us using the 4-range charts is it's pretty easy to read. Notice that didn't come to a 38% retracement, not yet anyway. We're still not heading down yet though. Power meter 1 has not changed red yet. Now real quick, we're 45 minutes into it. What is everybody doing this on your charts so that you can kind of tell what these things are doing? You know, if you're too aggressive and you're getting, you know, stopped, be careful of that, okay? Because a conservative trader will make money too, but keep in mind that when you do the conservative trade, you're going to want to take profits, you know, fairly quick. Would I say gold is more friendly than oil? I think it is, Adam says. I like gold. I mean, you know, we've been bringing it into the room for the last couple of weeks. I like it first thing in the morning. Now, keep in mind, this is at 9 o'clock last night, so this is pretty slow. We did get a lightning red, but we haven't changed power meter yet. Let's speed it up and see if it breaks. Now, as soon as it does, what's the rule of thumb with lightning? If it breaks, wouldn't our new stop be right here? But not yet. Because what do we got to do? We got to confirm that's our new low, our new lower high, right? So that is our new stop right there. Now where's it going to be? It's going to be right here if this takes out this low, just the way I taught it. See, it took out the low, but not with a close. See if it's going to. And we're going to draw a line down at the bottom too, because this is our swing all the way down here. This is our new swing right here. See, it's identified, high, low, higher, high. So that's identified on our lightning 3. Okay, we're still short. Our stop, now we can bring it down. See it? It's right there where that swing is. Now you could even go here. It's about like that. And leave exit on close on. There you go. Now, let me ask you a quick question. If that bounces off of support like that right there, could that possibly be, if this doesn't take out this range, could we possibly get another trade very possibly to the upside? Well, we can always turn on our power meter, right? We can turn on long and just take our trade off the table, or we could actually even reverse it if it doesn't take this out. Which do y'all want to do? Leaving it up to you. If you reverse it, I'd probably, with going against the trend, I'd go a couple of contracts and probably go for just a small trade. Reverse for a scalp? Okay, we'll try it. Now, everybody knows how to use Object Trader on a reversal, right? What you'd have to do, you're short right now, so we'd have to turn on PM, reverse. You don't have to do any of this because it's not a box or array. PM has nothing to do with these TMB buttons. Let's go ahead and get our target out of the way just in case it does break. I didn't get a chance to go over the opening box as much today, but I think this probably helped out a lot of people. I'm getting some comments coming through that they like it. See, we've still got a nice short on. Where would our stop be right now? I mean, it closed below the swing, so this is your new identified swing, right? That's a tight stop. That's that stop that Charles and I are always talking about. If you do a tight stop, that's where it'll be. If you do a looser stop, it'd be above that other swing where the blue line is right now. It didn't add any on the PM. That's a good question on that. That may be the fact that this actually changed past the midnight deal, because we've got a safety deal built into Object Trader now that if it changes sessions that it won't add. I'll have to check that and see. But let's see if we can get, we're either going to take this out and head down, our stop's in place, or we're going to possibly bounce off of the bottom. Yeah, I know he's been working awful hard on making sure every trade has been redone on his copy that he has right now, not on mine. I'm supposed to get with him right after the room closes, and I'm praying that he's got the other two trades that I want put in where we can test them. Wow, we're getting right down to the low. Now, if you're a gutsy trader, you can actually, if you see support like that and a bar closes up, you can literally go long. See how that bounced right off support? I'd probably do it on a separate chart though, because right now we're still short. Oh, absolutely move the stop. Absolutely. Right there, wouldn't it be? Just above that swing. Exit on close. Whoops, sorry about that. I'd like to have, well, Object Trader can move that stop like that, but I just don't like the trail stop that we've got designed for that particular Object Trader type trade yet. I just don't like it. Looks like it's going to stop it out. If it stops it before it flips it, it'll just stop it. Swing's holding so far. Everybody see how to use, there you go, you just got your lightning. Now your lightning one went green, so you would have actually flipped, but unfortunately we had our stop right there rather than just flipping it. Everybody see that? Now let's go ahead just real quick, and I'm going to fast forward to where we opened the room this morning, because you remember, you know, no malarkey or anything like that, that at 7:50-ish we had a phantom type trade set up. We're not going to trade anything between now and then. We're just going to get to that time. I'll show you how to trade that, because this was called out. See, this is still earlier than I get up. Getting closer. Alarm's going to go off. Alarm went off. I'm getting out of bed. Okay. Now, I'm getting my coffee set up and stuff like that, right? Let's go ahead and just get ready for the room. We'll go ahead and keep going a little bit. Notice how you're stair-stepping up, by the way. Everybody sees that, right? You are definitely stair-stepping to the upside. Here's a predictor right here. Let's see. Let's keep going. We haven't opened the room yet, because I called this trade in the room. Now, does this mean you couldn't have taken some of these down here? You could. Let's see if we can get actually closer to the room time. $7:34. We're not open just yet. Let's go ahead and get ready to take a trade. Not quite room time yet. Still 20 minutes. Let's fast forward a little bit more. There we go. All right, everybody see that? All right, let's get this out. We're 7:42, and here's a predictor right up here telling us that we should get right up there to that predictor, don't you think? And that's also like a line 6. Now, what if this thing just decides to go to the moon, but we've still got a short background? So couldn't we just turn on our PM trade and just let it do its thing? Or box it. Some of you like to box it, right? Where would you box it? Sorry about that. I hit the numbers below. Where would you box this trade as of right now? Let's draw lightning 1. Okay, let's look at lightning 1. I'm going to get rid of lightning 2. That's lightning 1, I believe. Let's see. There we go. All right, let's draw it. I'm going to draw it from right here. Let's draw it from here. Okay, so far your lightning 1 swing is right down here, right? Okay, now we don't know that's where it's going to be, but this is where it's at right now. See, you could draw it down here even, and you'll see, so you've got a high, a low, and a higher high. So that's definitely your swing, right? Now we don't know that's going to be our swing because obviously on this side too, they can start stair stepping, get a lower high, and then break it. This is our safe, what I call basically a conservative type trade, but this can be late to the ball game too. You do have lightning on the left and you've got lightning on the right. We haven't got lightning on the right to change yet. But we could turn on PM meter and just take it. Okay, let's see if we get it. See if we get it. We're almost through with the webinar. Didn't get to go over the opening box tonight. We'll do that again another time. Use red PM1, absolutely, Lee, because until we take out this phantom now at the open, you know, you could box it for either direction, right? But you got to be careful because you got to be ready to go the other way just in case. And the overall trend is still down. This was never a swing that was identified. See the low here? Remember the same thing, thrust, retrace, never took out the low. So that swing right there is not established on your Lightning 3. Could this be your new lightning swing that's established? Possibly. But we won't know it until it takes out the bottom, right? Or if it decides to break up. You've also got support right here. Everybody sees that, right? So could you box this in like a little three-way box? That's what we call like a 1, 2, 3. Like that. You want to try one with if it breaks out? All right. Aggressive trader said yes. We'll just do it with market if it breaks that box. Hadn't broken it yet. Now that's starting to set up lightning for sure. See that? You got a high, you got a low. We don't know if we're going to take this out yet. Now we've got a fresh high. Still got our low down here. We could also draw a trend line. And that's right at the open of the room. We're within 2 minutes. See, 2 minutes to the open of the room. So we basically got it boxed in, but we're not going to chase this thing long unless the open of the oil, right? Because we're still, at this point anyway, we're still looking for shorts. Now, could you have taken a long like way down in this area, or maybe, you know, as it broke lightning to the upside? Yes, just like I showed over here to give an example. You could do that. All right, let's see if we can get it. There's one. There's our little box. That's your opening box, by the way. See that opening box right there? I'm not sure why we're not getting our add-ons to our, he may have changed this to where you have to do this auto on here, possibly. I'll have to ask him on that. See, everybody, we got a nice little trade right there. Everybody remember that one? Now, remember what we were talking about live in the room this morning? What started happening with gold? It hit resistance. Everybody remember that? It hit resistance, and we had a higher low down here. Now, Charles and I actually called to box this in above mid-band, but I'm going to show you how to get in this trade even a little bit earlier, at least to dip the toe. See your little power meter 1 and 2? Well, they're basically starting to break up even right down in here. So I would probably take this trade right in through this area here, like so. See it breaking? Okay. And put your stop just under the swing. Well, we got targets already. Okay. Everybody remember this little trade that we called in the room here? It's coming down to test. It's breaking to the upside. See where it just kind of checked support. And we got this trade before it did a monster like a shotgun. Everybody remember that in the room? That's what it did. And that even got my target there. But that's the way you trade this. Now, I want to show you something else real quick that you can watch your phantom type trades, okay? The one thing that you want to be careful of on phantom type trades is have they actually changed the direction of your swings, okay? Let me get rid of all this stuff on the chart and I'm going to show you something because we did this over here. Everybody see this high, this low, this higher high? Isn't this your swing right under here right now, just like I taught just a little bit ago? That this is a little risky right here. You don't want to really short this one. See what I mean? Because that could easily just take that out and still head on up. See, like that? Okay? But what about this swing right here? Isn't this actually something that you should be looking for if it does actually break? Because that is your lightning swing. You've got a high, you've got a low, you've got a higher highs over here. And if it does break this, this could easily change trends. And this when your phantoms don't usually work out. See how that's breaking down right there? Now, what I did this morning personally, and this may go too fast for me, but the moment it touched the phantom like that, I called a trade and we got a little scalp. See that? Just came to phantom and we got that scalp. But this thing after that just cratered. Anybody remember it? Just right about the time the room, we closed the room. Here's your stealth right here. Everybody see it? Let's see if we can get to stealth and see if we can get us a little trade. Or even right across here, you don't want to take that out. What if it just breaks below phantom? Well, you got to wait for a retrace if it does. Okay, so we broke below phantom. Let's see if we can get a little retrace and get in this trade. See if we can come right back up to this area right there. That's pretty close. Yep, I think I'm going to miss it. Got it going about 50 times. Let's see if we can get it. There we go. See it kissing resistance? Now that's an aggressive trade, but my stop would just be right above here. See that? That's trading lightning. Notice how that came just perfectly to lightning. And we need to move our target out of the way. It looks like you're going to nail it if we don't. Everybody see how to trade? If you look at your, wow, if you look at your lightning 1, your lightning 2, and then look at those charts, and occasionally you've got to almost just colorblind yourself a little bit because you can miss some good trades. Now this phantom trade actually worked out this morning right here, okay? But where did the trade bounce? Gave a 5-tick trade, you put a line there, and didn't it come back and actually kiss that exact area? That was after we closed the room, by the way, and that was a monster short, drawing your lines on your charts. Well, one thing about it, Mary, if you do take a shallow pullback, let me show you where to put your stop, okay? And that is a really, really good question, and I'm going to give you a really good answer to it too. Let me get rid of everything, and we're almost through with the webinar. Bear with me a second. I'm going to get rid of lightning. It must be my lightning 2. There we go. Lightning 1. All right. Now, what if you were looking for this trade in real time? Okay. And you see, well, for one thing, the chart, we were even saying this in real time in the room. We did get a red background. We still had a yellow midband. But what you're looking for is a break. Okay, now in your mind you're going to have to think, okay, I'm trying to get right back up to here because that's where they broke down. And then if you draw your lightning, you'll see for sure that's where they broke down. See there? Broke down below the swing, like right under there. Okay, or even here, that's your second one back. See that little swing right there? So where would your stop be? If I was to get in this trade right here, just like what I taught just a little bit ago, my stop would be right there. Now I'm risking 6 ticks. See, so if you get in a trade like that on a shallow retrace, just look to the left to trade the right, and make sure that your swings are still stair-stepping to the downside. Okay, and we know for sure this had broken, and this was an identified swing based on what I taught earlier, right? You have a low, You have a high, much lower low, that swing's established. All right, is this swing established? No, never took out the low. Is this swing established at that point? And the answer is no. When does this swing get established? Right here. Right back to what I taught a little while ago, when it takes this out. When will this swing be established? The moment it goes through the bottom of it with a closed bar. That swing is now established. So now my stop could be at break even. And then what happens after that? Let's just watch. Isn't this my new established low? Lower high, right? And this is my low. That's a what I call a shallow pullback area, right? Very shallow pullback area. Okay. I don't know why that lightning went like that. Probably because it's shotgunned. You know, because lightning should be drawn different than that. But see those bars going straight like that? That's kind of killing our lightning. So, you know, you have to just do it in your head then a little bit more. Okay. But what if you missed this one? Can you tell me where the next trade is on this chart? And the answer is pretty much yes. Let's see if we can figure it out. I'm just going to go a few bars at a time and see if we can get a trade. Anybody? Got to get a retracement. Okay, what about that? Let's get rid of lightning. Get rid of our lightning. Now, looking at this chart right here, we've got resistance that's identified. See your high, your low, lower. So that's your established lightning swing. Everybody sees that, right? What did it do? It kissed your established swing and rolled over. That's what they do. You just got to look at lightning and look to the left to trade the right. And, you know, if you would have gotten in this trade like right here, to give an example, let's say you use this lightning right here, couldn't you put your stop just above the swing that's just above it? Because look what happened. It actually checked closer to that one. Okay, and if you were an aggressive trader, you probably got in on that bar. So you felt a little bit of heat. And if you were more of a PM trader, you probably got in thrust, retrace, thrust, retrace, thrust, retrace. You wouldn't have gotten in onto that bar, that close. See below that swing right there? That would be your PM trade. Okay? All right. Everybody get something out of it tonight? Always look to the left to trade the right. Always look to see what your true trend is. And always try to get in the trade at the best opportunity, because breakout trades will kill you. You know, and be careful, you know, of even some of the mid-band trades and things like that. Simply because, you know, for instance, if you were going to go long on this chart right here, you know, wouldn't you have gone long just right above that swing? See your thrust, your retrace, closed on that bar? You could have gotten a quick long trade. Now, I'm not advocating this particular trade, by the way, but that's when PM meter will change green. All right. Lee, you want to see where that's at real quick? You know where it's at on the website? I'll show everyone real quick where it's at. Bear with me just a second, and I'll go to our website. And we'll go to the member login. Bear with it a second. I've got it paused for just a moment. Got to go to my login. Okay, you just log into your site where it says Welcome Lee, or whatever a person's name is. Go scroll down and you'll see template and workspace used in the trading room. This little template here is in this zip file, and you just simply click on it. It'll actually ask you if you want to save the file, and then if you open the little zip file, you'll see the template. Just put that in your documents, NinjaTrader 7 template/chart, and it's marked on here exactly where to put it. Okay? And we're going to be changing a bunch of this here pretty shortly, because Object Trader's gone through a lot of changes, and I'm going to be updating, but I've got to get things, you know, fixed and working the way I want them to before we change stuff. That's why we have webinars. All right, it'll be posted in, say, the next 25 minutes or so, as soon as it renders. I hope everybody got something out of that. There's Lightning 1, Lightning 2, and always look to see where your established swing is. That's the most important key. Don't fall for those little bitty moves. You got to see the established one. All right. Thanks, everyone. The PM trades, I think a lot of it was actually Lee. I notice on like real accounts and everything, you don't seem to have problems like that. Market replay is kind of funky. Not sure on that, Jack. Why GoToWebinar does not send any confirmation emails? They send it to me letting me know how many people attended. When and why do you look at Lightning 1 versus Lightning 2 versus 3? Well, Mario, on your question there, what I'm looking at, like, let's say, for instance, if you go back to where we were at the open, you know, when I first started showing this chart, which was right back here, you're basically looking at your lightning swings. And remember, if you draw on your chart, so you can see them high, low, not established till it takes out this high, high, low, not established till it takes out this high. That's your established low right there, right on what we call the micro side, right across here, right? Okay, and you'll notice that it just literally just broke down once it actually broke it. Now, of course, over here, you were seeing this even at the time, so that's where we had it, was 1270.70. Because over here, see, it was right here, but then as this did this little double top, it actually did it here. And that's Lightning 2. Yeah, Lightning 2 is a really good one. It's, you know, it doesn't quite just draw on your chart like a crazy guy. All right, we'll do it for Real in the Room tomorrow and call the trades. Thanks, everyone. Have a great evening. Good night.